The heavy rains in the early hours of Tuesday, April 29, triggered an unprecedented state of emergency in Medellín, with severe flooding in several key areas of the city. The rain spread almost throughout the metropolitan subregion, covering the entire city of Medellín, moving from south to north. Amid these heavy rains, the city of San Cristóbal and several city streets were affected. River basins such as the Altavista experienced an increase in flow again during the night. Olaya Herrera Airport was flooded, as was the parking area of Juan Pablo Segundo Airport, causing operational interruptions and traffic disruptions. The situation was aggravated by the flooding of the Medellín River on 30th Street, where taxi drivers had warned of the magnitude of the phenomenon. In addition, the access road to the Medellín River underground was also flooded, obstructing vehicle traffic on one of the city's most important arteries. Among the areas with the greatest complications are the closures on South Highway, 52nd Street and 29th Street, and the Musicians and 30th Street tunnels. This situation adds to the tragedy experienced last night in Altavista and San Antonio de Prado, where more than 70 homes were affected by landslides and sudden flooding from ravines. Local authorities are increasing their alertness, and an official assessment of preventive and emergency measures is expected in response to the risk of further incidents. Rivers such as El Salado Parque Arvi, Garcia in the Tulio Ospina sector and Dona Maria in Itagüí registered an orange alert, while several rivers such as La Chuscala in Copacabana and the Medellín River in various places registered a red alert. It was a worrying night for the residents of Altavista. Last night's rains caused the La Guayabala River to overflow, resulting in 2 deaths. Meanwhile, in San Antonio de Prado, 32 houses were evacuated, 8 collapsed. Despite the rain, the underground Parques del Rio did not report any flooding, but streets such as 30th Street, 70th Avenue and surrounding streets, especially those along the edge of the ravine, are still in the process of being restored. Here is a summary of the situation in the city. Olaya Herrera Airport was flooded and closed. Total flooding was also reported at Juan Pablo Segundo Airport in Bullen. The Medellín River overflowed its banks on 30th Street. The following road closures have been confirmed so far. Southern Highway, height of La Macarena, Eastern Highway. Southern Highway, towards Guayabal Avenue. 44th Street and 64th Street, Musisi Depression. Carrera 52 with Calle 29 to take the Nutebara Bridge. Entrance to the 30th Bridge. The authorities are monitoring the various critical points throughout the district and assisting the affected families, which according to the census now number more than 350 homes, of which 29 have been recommended for temporary evacuation and 229 for permanent evacuation. Medellín Mayor Federico Gutiérrez confirmed that 1 person was killed and a minor was missing in Altavista, a rural area of the city. The mayor of Medellín, Federico Gutiérrez, confirmed that 1 person died and a minor was missing in Altavista, a rural area of the city. Medellín is on alert due to heavy rains. I am heading to the Altavista district, where unfortunately 1 person died and a minor is missing. Several streets in the city are flooded. We need everyone's solidarity with the many families affected. The rain is still falling and will continue to fall, said Mayor Gutiérrez. Flooding was also reported in the Parques del Rio underground, as well as the presence of swamps in an important area that connects Medellín from south to north and vice versa. However, the Industrials underground is still being cleaned, so the Metroplus bus system has not been able to resume commercial operations. Regarding the impacts in the south of the city, in Altavista and San Antonio de Prado, the mayor's office reported that, combined with the state of emergency of the last few days, 74 families have been assisted in San Antonio de Prado and Altavista. Between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Several affected roads are beginning to reopen, including 30th Street in both directions, 65th Street north-south, and 70th Street and 14th Street, near Juan Pablo II Airport, south-north. For more than 2 decades, the Metropolitan Area Early Warning System, CIATA, has been critical to managing climate risk in Medellín and its surrounding municipalities.
Allá vemos al fondo la salida del soterrado. Señores, vea, autopista
Thanks to
sur.
this system, citizens receive vital information on air quality, rainfall, and flooding, helping to mitigate the effects of climate change and reduce the impact of natural disasters. However, as El Espectador documented, CIATA is in the midst of a crisis that calls into question the city's commitment to science and the prevention and mitigation of the effects of climate change. The firing of 31 researchers and the budget cuts to CIATA have raised concerns among the scientific community and citizens, who see these decisions as a worrying setback.
Oficialmente en industriales. Ay, suave.
The budget cuts for 2025, which, according to the metropolitan region, are 12%, but which the Todos Ex Medellín Oversight Committee says are 53%, threaten to undermine a system that not only provides real-time information on extreme weather events but also supports research vital to risk management in the region. The impact of climate change in Medellín is undeniable. Floods, landslides, and spikes in pollution affect public health every year.
Ay, papi, chao. Ay, hasta esa moto, Ay, gonorrea.
CIATA's ongoing monitoring has been key to issuing early warnings that prevent tragedies. In this context, weakening the system is a decision that is difficult to justify. If this downward trend continues, Medellín will become more vulnerable to extreme weather events. Without real-time data, emergency response will be compromised and urban and environmental planning will be inadequate. It is urgent that the city government and the metropolitan region transparently explain how they will ensure that CIATA continues to perform its functions without compromising the quality of its investigations. Citizens deserve to know exactly where the promised additional resources will come from and how the system will be prevented from collapsing. The mayor of Medellín, Federico Gutiérrez, chaired an extraordinary meeting of the District Risk Management Council to analyze the different emergencies they are dealing with due to the rains. The first serious situation is being handled in the district of San Antonio de Prado, and the second in the district of Altavista. On Tuesday morning, a woman was swept away by a ravine, causing her death. Her 13-year-old son suffered the same fate, but is still missing and the search continues. Faced with this situation, which has overwhelmed the care capacity of those affected, the mayor announced that he was declaring a state of emergency this Tuesday. According to the director of DAGGARD, Carlos Quintero Monsalve, they are currently treating more than 800 people throughout the city, all affected by the rains. But perhaps the most complicated situation at the moment is in Altavista, where several water mains are not working. The Altavista Aqueduct, about 5 aqueducts affecting about 5,000 families, plus the impact in the San Antonio de Prado district, means we are talking about 350 families in the entire district of Medellín, with more than 800 people directly affected. This means that the district is already beyond its emergency response capacity.